Have you ever opened your favorite streaming app, stared at the screen for a few seconds and then started scrolling? Just a little at first, then a bit more. Then suddenly, it's been 20 minutes and you still haven't picked anything to watch. And the strange part is, you don't feel relaxed anymore. You feel tired, almost like your brain has been working instead of resting. Why does that happen? We were promised something very different. Streaming services were supposed to make life easier. No schedules, no waiting, no missing episodes, no annoying ad breaks every few minutes. Just sit down, press play, and enjoy. Simple, perfect. So what went wrong? Let's go back for a moment. Before streaming, there was cable TV. And cable wasn't amazing. You had a fixed schedule. If your favorite show came on at 8 p.m., you had to be there at 8 p.m. If you missed it, well, too bad. There were ads. Lots of them. And half the channels, you probably never watched them. But still, there was something comfortable about it. You turned on the TV and something was already playing. No searching. No endless decision-making. You just joined whatever was on. Maybe it was a movie halfway through. Maybe it was a random episode of a show you didn't even follow. But you stayed. You watched. And somehow, you enjoyed it. Because you didn't expect perfection. You didn't expect every second to be amazing. You were just there to pass time and feel entertained. Now compare that to today. Streaming gives you full control. And at first, that sounds like a dream. But control comes with pressure. Now you have to choose. Not from 10 options, not from 50 options, but from thousands. Endless rows of content, new releases, trending shows, recommended for you. Because you watched this, because you liked that. Because the system thinks you might enjoy something else. And suddenly, your brain switches into decision mode. What should I watch? Is this worth my time? What if I pick the wrong thing? What if there's something better just one scroll away? So you keep scrolling, and scrolling, and scrolling, looking for something perfect. But here's the problem. When everything is available, nothing feels special. Think about it. When you have limited choices, you value what you pick. But when you have unlimited choices, you start doubting every decision. Because there's always the feeling that something better exists, and that feeling steals your peace. Now let's talk about expectations. With cable, expectations were low. You knew most of the time what you were watching was just okay, and that was enough. But streaming changed that mindset. Now, every show needs to be amazing. Every movie needs to be worth your time. Every recommendation needs to be perfect. And if it's not, you feel like you wasted your time. So what do? You stop watching. You go back. You search again. And instead of enjoying content, you chase better content. But sometimes, that better never comes. And you end up watching less, even though you have more. Isn't that strange? More content, less satisfaction. Now here's another thing that quietly changed over time. Ads. Streaming services used to be proud of being ad-free. That was their biggest advantage. No interruptions, no breaks, just smooth watching. But slowly, that started to change. Now many platforms offer cheaper plans with ads, and more expensive ones without. So now, you're not just choosing what to watch, you're choosing how much you're willing to pay for a better experience. And if you don't pay more, you're back to watching ads. Just like cable. It almost feels like everything came full circle. And then there's subscriptions. At first, you probably had one streaming service, maybe two. But then, one platform had a show you liked, another had movies you wanted, another had something exclusive, another had sports. And slowly, you added more. Now you're paying for multiple services every month. Each one feels small on its own. But together, they add up. Sometimes more than what cable used to cost. So again, a question comes up. Did we really replace cable? Or did we just rebuild it in a different form? But beyond money and ads and choices, there's something deeper, something more human, the way we experience stories. Cable was shared. Families would sit together and watch the same thing. There was a routine, a feeling of togetherness. And even outside the home, people were connected. You'd talk to friends about what happened last night. There was excitement. There was anticipation. You had to wait for the next episode. And that waiting made it special. Now everything is instant. Everything is available right now. And while that sounds great, it changed how we connect. People watch at different times, at different speeds. One person finishes a whole season in one night. Another watches slowly. Someone else hasn't even started. So conversations become difficult. You don't want to spoil anything. Others don't want spoilers either. So people talk less about shows. And that shared excitement slowly fades away. Even binge watching, which felt like the best feature ever, has its downside. When a full season is released at once, people rush through it. Episode after episode. No pause, no waiting. And for a moment it feels amazing. But then it's over. Quickly. And just as quickly, people move on. With weekly episodes, stories stayed with you longer. You had time to think, time to discuss, time to feel. Now it's fast. And fast doesn't always mean meaningful. Here's something else to think about. Algorithms. Streaming platforms learn what you watch. They study your behavior. They recommend content based on your habits. At first it feels helpful, like the app understands you. But over time, it can feel limiting, because you're no longer exploring. You're being guided. If you watch one type of content, you keep getting more of the same. Same genres, same style, same kind of storytelling, and slowly everything starts to feel similar. Predictable, repetitive. With cable, randomness existed. You could flip channels and land on something unexpected. A movie you never planned to watch. A show you didn't search for. And sometimes those random discoveries became your favorites. Streaming removes that randomness. And with it, it removes surprise. And surprise is important. It keeps things fresh. It keeps things exciting. So now we have to ask, what do we really have today? We have more content than ever, more control than ever, more convenience than ever. But at the same time, more confusion, more pressure, more decision-making, and maybe less joy. It's not that streaming is bad. It's actually incredible in many ways. But maybe it's not perfect. Maybe we misunderstood what we really wanted. We thought we wanted unlimited choices, but maybe we just wanted easy choices. We thought we wanted full control, but maybe we just wanted less effort. We thought we wanted everything, but maybe everything is too much. So here's a simple question. When you sit down to watch something, are you actually enjoying the process, or are you just trying to find something worth enjoying? That difference matters. A lot, because entertainment isn't supposed to feel like a task. It's supposed to feel effortless. So maybe the solution isn't to go back to cable. Maybe it's just to change how we use streaming. Next time you open an app, try not to scroll for too long. Pick something quickly. Don't overthink it. Boonville. Don't search for perfection. Just press play. Because sometimes, the problem isn't the content. It's the pressure we put on ourselves to find the best one. Now I want to hear from you. Do you feel this too? Do streaming services sometimes feel more stressful than relaxing? Or do you still prefer them over cable without any doubt? Share your thoughts. Because this conversation gets more interesting when more people join in. And if you enjoyed this, or it made you think in a new way, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. There's so much more to explore. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Because in the end, it's not just about movies or shows. It's about time. Your time. And how you choose to spend it.